Our Journalism 453 project was inspired by Cy Stokes, the UCLA student who made the viral video saying that UCLA had more NCAA championships than black male freshmen. We decided to see what minorities at the University of Maryland really think about being a minority. We interviewed various students who are affiliated with Greek life, athletics, and other organizations. Here are their stories.
No. Why would you say that?
I feel like African Americans are really unrepresented on this campus. I mean, I didn't really have a class with over 2 African Americans in it until this year, so yeah. And I've been here, well, this is my 3rd semester, so this is my 1st semester actually being in a class with more than 2 African Americans.
Yeah, I think there's many international, we are international students, so I see many international students here and many yeah, and there are also many organizations for providing us help and help us to adjust to this new environment.
I think that yes, okay, because we have I would say large black population compared to other primarily white schools. I would say we do voice our opinions a lot. However, I do not think we're heard, and that we're just voicing it towards ourselves, like our own community, and only the minorities to understand where we're coming from. And this university says they hear us and say that we're listening, but I really do not think we're listening at all.
I agree.
As a minority myself, I don't think so, honestly. But I think if you're in like groups you choose to be involved with, that's how you get your voice. And as you can see, I'm in a multicultural setting, and I feel like I have a bigger voice just because I'm involved.
Well, I feel like it's represented in a decent manner. Do I feel like it could be represented a bit better? Yes. But I mean, well, I feel like I feel like we don't get funded as much as other organizations, and like something I noticed is just being on the e-board for the Black Student Union for a couple of years is basically 3 years ago we got close to like $20,000 a year. Last year I want to say we got around $3,000.
I wouldn't say, not that I didn't belong. I grew up in Montgomery County, which is predominantly white, so I'm kind of used to that type of atmosphere. But I think like there's just some times where I'm surprised that people aren't aware of what they're saying. There are situations like that, but it's not like to a point where I feel like I don't ever feel like I don't belong. I just feel like some people are not aware of what they're saying or what they're doing and how it's affecting other people.
It just made me feel lonely sometimes. Like, I have classes where I'm the only black girl or I'm the only, one of the only females, because engineering is a pretty male-dominated field, so it's hard. But
a couple years back, I was trying to get into the library, and I forgot. I left my. I was already in the library, and I left my university ID in the room, and there was a girl right there, and she obviously wasn't a minority, but she saw me coming to the thing, and I had a bunch of Maryland gear on, everything. I knocked on the door. She wouldn't let me in. At the end of the day, I can understand, tailgaters. Another guy was coming out, and he was about to come out, and she ran all the way up to him and stopped him and was like, "Don't go out, don't let him in. He doesn't go here." Like, I can hear it through the window. I mean, I eventually found my way in and had a few nice words for it. So.
I used to feel that way my freshman year. I had a lot going on in practice. I was the only black kid on the team at the time, and it was just a lot to deal with. being the only black kid and then going to classes and time management, I was having a hard time and I just felt a huge burden. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember sophomore year, I was in a sociology class in a huge lecture hall, and we had to divide up in groups. And everyone was assigning tasks to each person in the group, and I got left with making the backboard pretty. Like, none of the research work, none of the heavy-duty things. They were just like, here, you make the backboard pretty. And I was just like, why? Is it because I'm black and I feel like I'm capable of doing something like of a higher rigor in this class? And it was just really offensive, but that type of thing happens all the time.
Not at all. Personally, I don't like to hang out with other Asians because I don't know if this is really bad to say, but they get on my nerves. And I just like to have more diversity. Like, you don't want to be around the same crowd because it just gets boring after a while.
Yes, I don't know, there's kind of a moral or trust, there's a sentiment that you're from the same country, you speak the same language, and it's easier to become involved, and sometimes you like the same things.
I've actually thought about this. My freshman year, I lived in the dorms, my freshman, sophomore year, and like, it almost felt as if the rooms or the floors were designed to alternate like this race, this race, this race, this race, and like, you know, it's like a melting pot. Like they can, which is cool. I mean, it's fine. It's kind of funny. You know, my friends and I would joke about it because it's literally like a rainbow, like as you went down the hall. So it's kind of cool.
Sometimes I do. I feel like sometimes it's I'm hanging out with, because my boyfriend is African American, so I do hang out with people that are African American. But at the same time, I do have a lot of friends that are white, so it's a good mix. Like
depending on what side I'm going towards, like I told you before, I'm on a team and then I'm also in Greek life. So being on a team, not at all, because I'm always on Route 1, and that's mostly a Caucasian type atmosphere with the bars and everything like that. And then when I get to my Greek organization, being a Kappa, I'm mostly around African Americans because my fraternity is historically black.
Sometimes subconsciously, I guess I do, because like I feel like I'm a really friendly person, so I make friends with everyone, but sometimes I do tend to go towards people just because I guess we have like those inside jokes with like your culture and stuff, but overall maybe not. Like my friend group like transcends all of that.
President Wallace began his term in fall 2010. During this time period, minorities only made up 33% of the campus. In an attempt to get possible recommendations for improved minority inclusion, we asked several students what advice they would give President Lowe. These are their answers.
Actually, there is one thing. Is like I know there are lots. I got emails at the beginning of the school year saying like, oh, ethnic people come and see this, but I thought, well, that's kind of funny. Isn't everyone have something to share? So maybe instead of just making it ethnic group, like Hispanics, whites, Latino, whatever, everyone is allowed to come.
I personally just don't feel other organizations have that hard of a time of getting that funding. But one thing I'll commend President Lowe on doing is he's actually having a president's forum. So for presidents of like many organizations, where we're going to come in, I believe it's on December 2nd, we're going to come into, I guess, his mansion or the administration building, and I guess we're going to get to voice our opinions. So, I mean, I definitely commend him on doing that.
Sure, I think there just needs to be more awareness about all the student groups. Like there's Asian Student Union, there's Latino Student Union, and how people can get involved. And they have a lot of events where they just bring awareness to campus. And there's the multicultural sororities, the multicultural fraternities, and I don't think everyone knows about these things.
I feel like we just have to make each other feel more welcome. I don't think
among minorities?
Okay. And among minorities and majorities.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really, I don't see an administration problem. I don't see like a university problem. I just feel like it's something within ourselves that we really need to combat and we really need to come together and get past that.
In conclusion, 3 years after President Lowe took office, the University of Maryland boasts a minority population of 34%. Currently, the University of Maryland is not ranked within the top 20 for diversity. The University of Rutgers and University of Houston rank number 1 and 2, respectively. We found that African American students tend to feel more discriminated against than other minority populations on campus. We also cannot find any Native American students to speak with. Most students feel that while there are a lot of resources available to the minority students on campus, they are not utilized or promoted in a very effective manner. Ultimately, minority inclusion is the responsibility of each and every one of us. As a TERP, how do you feel?